Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Offseason podcast. I'm your host, Hunter, joined as always by Trevor and Brodie. I don't have a fever this week, so no excuses for weird takes or changing, game rules mid-game.
I do have a fever for more cowbell, though.
Yeah, always more cowbell.
What are you talking about?
You guys see that SNL
really?
skit?
Oh, my gosh, Trevor.
This has been happening a lot to me lately.
Tough look.
Trevor tends to date himself with how young he is in the office very frequently.
I'm at the age now when that does not bother me hearing people say that. Like, that's great.
A huge YouTube video that should have.
I've seen a lot of old SNL skits, so.
It was Will Ferrell.
Yeah, look up Will Ferrell.
Which one is it?
Will Ferrell.
More cowbell. That's what it's called.
More cowbell.
It's just called More Cowbell. Okay.
Yeah.
It's who's the other guy in it? Who's that guy? He's like pretty.
Jimmy Fallon?
No, he's the one that's like producing the music. So he keeps coming in asking for more cowbell. Who is that guy?
I don't know.
I think we need more cowbell. Who is that guy? All right, I'll figure it out.
Okay. We're going to kick this one off with a story submitted to us by Luke. He said, I'm relatively new to disc golf. I picked it up in May because my best friend played it, but he was in year 3, so there was a massive talent separation. Anyways, around the end of June, I decided to take the quote-unquote baptism by fire route and sign up for a local Trilogy tournament. It was on a course I had never played before, roughly 30 minutes from where I live. My buddy and I, along with his brother, headed to the course so they could teach me the lines to throw and so I could have a rough idea where every basket is. We stepped up to a hole that has a fence directly to the right, covered with bushes. I threw a terrible shot. My buddy's brother said, "Here, try this." I grip locked the disc into a tree on the other side of the fence. I feel awful and instantly try to get it down. We tried the baseball method. We tried the throw another disc at it method, but nothing. We all remember that we have a disc retriever in the car, and as the guy who got us into this mess, I'm the guy who's determined to get us out. As I start this likely quarter-mile run, I have a certain feeling come over me, a certain stomach feeling. I manage to suffer through the run to the car, grab the retriever, and start to run back. The run very quickly turns into a waddle, though. I should mention there's not an unlocked bathroom within a country mile. So I make it back to the tree very painfully, only to discover that my friend and his brother are no longer there, and neither is the disc. I call out for them, call their phones, which they had both left in the car, and wait around for a little bit to see if they come back. I assumed they'd played on, so I start making my way through the wooded course. However, the stomach pain that I was experiencing was so severe that I decided I need to find a secluded spot to conduct some business. So there I am, bare cheeks out on the disc golf course, when I look to my left and see a group of probably 10 to 15 older men, beer cans in hand, getting prepared to shoot off their 4th of July fireworks. It felt as though I had seen the face of God. If any of them had decided to turn their heads 90 degrees, I would have been seen in the most sensitive position of my life. Turns out that my buddy and his brother had been kicked out of the park due to these fireworks, and it was a public event, meaning that if I had gone any farther into the woods, I'd have been face to face with the general public. I played terribly at the tournament that weekend, and only recently have I told my friend why they were unable to find me. I still lose discs in trees. I no longer crap in the woods.
That's funny. I've got a story.
You guys ever crapped in the woods before?
Well, yeah, I've got a story. So the year is 2018, maybe. This is the last year. I think this is the last year I played in the Flamethrower, which was a Liberty hosted college event. And it was a cold morning start. And I have very good control over my bowels in the sense that, like, I'm almost never in a spot where it's like I've got to go number 2 or else. There are a lot of people who that becomes urgent. Like me, my body usually just won't do that. And like a lot of people get like the nervous poops. That's not really been me either. And I don't remember feeling like especially nervous on this day, but like I remember I was warming up out on East Campus on that course, and I was just thinking to myself, like, I have got to go. And I don't know. There's no porta potties. The round is going to start in the next 20 minutes, maybe even less. Like, I've got nothing to do. And I'm not really a go to the bathroom in the woods guy very often because it's just not usually an issue. And I'm just like, what do I do? I'm at this crossroads of like, it must have been really bad for me to even think about doing this because like I would have just held it in almost all scenarios. And I proceeded to jog. Like, I went, so Hunter, think about this. So we're on the East Camp, we're like by the warm-up area.
Okay.
So I take a left and I jog towards the back 9 of the course.
Yeah.
I go to a spot in the woods, and granted, this is like 7 in the morning, so nobody's out there. Nobody's on the course yet. But I'm still super nervous. I mean, I'm right next to a college campus. I'm not trying to get arrested. This might be my I'm turning myself in, put me in cuffs.
So this podcast is for.
I want to say I wandered somewhere into the woods between hole 18 and hole 11 and took a squat and took a dump right there in the woods, buried it a little. I had a couple brand new microfiber towels in my, yeah, I'm just throwing it out there on the internet, in my bag that I hadn't used yet. A couple quick wipes, tossed those in a trash can, and played the tournament. Probably played awful.
There you go.
Wow.
I've never pooped in the woods.
That was the only time it's ever happened. It was out of necessity, and it was a smashing success. I was terrified. Bare cheeks out. That is a vulnerable place to be. That breeze, that 30-mile-an-hour or that 30-degree breeze hitting you. Whoo!
I'm surprised, Hunter, you've never
like freeze dried by the time it gets out.
Running.
No,
like,
the only
we used to do it all the time
did.
in cross country. I pooped in a dumpster.
The only time
You find places to do it.
the only time I have a pretty strong stomach when it comes to like holding that.
Usually, yeah, usually I do.
While you're running, though, if you got like 8 miles left, you're just like, I'm just gonna hold it in.
I have it. That's what I've like so far. I've had success.
You're gonna poop yourself in the marathon. You're gonna be that guy.
Well, no, I have it. Well, first off, at Disney they have
There's
a lot of
bathrooms everywhere.
available.
Your photos are gonna be disgusting as you're crossing the finish line with this
Just soiled
brown stuff all down your legs.
But the only time that I got close was I always eat this carb waffle before I run. I always, every long run I've ever done, I've had a solid. And I, for some reason, woke up this morning and I had to run, I want to say 12 miles was on the schedule, something like that. And I didn't have any of the waffles, but they had the same like nutrition facts as one of my just normal gels that I take during my run. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'll just take the gel and then drink my like normal drink, do everything else the same. I'll just substitute the waffle for the gel. And like mile 4 into this 12-mile, and I was running at like 5 a.m. So I was on like public streets, but nothing's open. So there was no pop into a McDonald's or something. Like there was nothing was open on this route. And so about 4 miles in, my stomach started cramping, and I was like, okay, got 8 miles to go here. This is a problem. And so I ran to the end of Windhurst, which was like 5.5 miles, turned around, got me back to the entrance of this like trail that goes to the poplar forest. And I was like, well, I'll run down this because when there's races here, they have porta potties. I've seen them on my runs. Hopefully there's a race happens to be today and there's going to be a porta potty on this trail. So I start running down the trail, no porta potty, but it's private property technically. So I'm definitely not supposed to be out there. And I'm also like, I don't want to just drop my pants because other morning runners use this trail. And so I'm like, I'd have to go deep into private property woods, poop. I don't want to get caught on a random trail cam. I also don't want to like see a runner. So I was like, I'll just keep holding it. So now I'm like mile 7.5 or no, I was at mile at that point, probably close to 8 or something coming home. I got to like mile 9.5 and I'd like entered back in the neighborhoods. And it had gone from like, oh, my stomach hurts, I need to poop, to like just full on stomach cramps. Like if I was walking, it would calm down. But the second I started running again, it just was not good. And it was a Sunday morning, actually, not a Saturday morning. It was a Sunday morning and I had to be at church. And I had like left the run with plenty of time to get ready. But with the stomach issues, I started running slower and slower and slower. And so now I had like 3 miles left in my run. And we had to like leave for church in an hour, and I had to shower, and Liz had to get ready. And so I'm doing the like backwards math in my head, and I'm like, this is not going to end well for me. Like I'm not going to make it home with enough time for everything that has to happen. So I just called Liz. I was like, hey, listen, here's my location. Here's where I'm at. I'm 3 miles away from home. Like you either have to come pick me up, or I'm about to poop in someone's front yard. Those are the only 2 options. Like there weren't woods near me. There's nothing. Like those are my only 2 options right now. And so she put Luke in the car and came pick me up.
Yeah, it had to be done. It would be a really funny like punishment to you got to go play like a local tournament. You got to wear light colored pants, and halfway through the round, you have to take like brown food coloring and just put it all over so it looks like you just crapped yourself, and you got to play the rest of the round just like as if nothing happened while everybody's staring at it.
See, I like you after every hole you have to take like a shot of X-Lax or something.
Oh.
I like that better.
That's
right,
for real.
My poop story is a little bit different. New Year's Eve dinner. We're in Salt Lake City. at this, we go up there to do this couples kind of trip with a couple different couples. So we're all at dinner. We've been snowboarding all day. I think I set a record for myself because you can see on your watch like how much elevation you've covered. And so I think like that day we did the most, like 25,000 feet or something, of where we were just constantly going up and down this mountain. And when we're done with the mountain, I like feel terrible. I feel absolutely awful. And I'm like, I'm just gonna go lay down before dinner and see what happens. And I just thought it's because we had a big day. I maybe overexerted myself. Kelsey checks on me. I'm like, I don't know. I'll go to dinner, but I don't know. So we go to dinner. The entire time at dinner, I'm just in crazy amounts of pain. It hurts so freaking bad. And I'm like, I think I have to go. I think I have to poop. Like, I don't know what's going on. I go down to the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom for like 25 minutes, which is very awkward when there's only 8 people. There's 4 couples and you've left and Kelsey's up there by herself and you're gone for 20 minutes. I come back to the table and I'm just like, I have no idea what's going on. Kelsey's like, well, let's go. Okay, well, let's leave. Let's get out of here. So we leave before we even get food. We leave. She's like, let's go get some Tums. So I was like, okay, I've never had Tums before. She's like, that'll like ease your stomach. And I was like, okay. So we go to the store, get Tums, head back to the Airbnb we're staying at, and I lie down and I'm like, I'm just gonna sleep this off. Like that's how I normally deal with like sickness. I don't like taking medicine. I don't like doing any of that. I'm like, I'm just gonna sleep this off. I'll feel better in the morning. So I lie down. Kelsey comes down because I am making the weirdest noises she's ever heard. I'm just like, she's like, and this at this point too, I don't think we're engaged at this point. So we're still, I think, just dating. And so she comes down and she's like, are you okay? What is going on? And I don't over really exaggerate when it comes to like injuries and stuff. So the fact that she like saw this, she was like, what's happening? We get in the rental car. She's like, I'm taking you to the emergency room. I was like, get in the rental car. We go in. The person gives me fake morphine because, again, it's New Year's Eve. And I guess there's a thing of where people like to just get morphine for free, or not free, but like go to the hospital to get morphine to feel good, whatever.
Yeah.
So the guy gives me fake morphine to make sure that I'm not faking it. And I'm still writhing in pain. And so he's like, all right, well, something's seriously wrong. So he gives me real morphine, basically.
Wow, morphed up.
And, well, I don't know if they gave me morphine before or after, but they end up like doing this thing, the pressing, and they press right on it. And I'm like, oh!
Is this appendicitis?
He's like, I think you've maybe ruptured your appendix.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And so again, New Year's Eve, we're in a place where people are basically having compound fractures and whatnot. So he's like, I think you're fine. Like we're kind of busy right now, so we'll handle it in the morning.
What? That
So
can be fatal if you rupture your appendix.
Well, they didn't think it was ruptured yet.
Okay.
I think whatever it was before that they
They're
thought
swollen to where they might need to remove it.
Correct. Whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't a dire need, or at least when they first tested, it wasn't a dire need.
Okay.
That was the first time I've ever puked up black in the night. I guess the morphine didn't really sit well, so I vomited and it's just all black. Kelsey's like having to basically, again, we're like in dating stages. Kelsey's like having to like, I'm like so weak I can barely even walk. Kelsey's having to help me to the bathroom to go to the bathroom.
I mean, you got to think you're dying at this point.
With her back to, yes. And I'm like, what is going on? Kelsey's like getting the nurses, being like, why is no one help? Because I'm in crazy pain even with this morphine.
Oh my gosh.
So it turns out, it happens, I think, at 7 o'clock in the morning, the next morning of when they go in and actually cut me open and see what's going on. It turns out my appendix had ruptured. And it was way worse than they even thought. And like you said, like you can die.
Yeah.
If your appendix ruptures, like within 24 hours, you can die.
Yeah.
So the guy came in, apologized because
I hope so.
Yeah.
he didn't.
We almost
didn't-
killed you.
He didn't think it was as bad as it was, but yeah. So my appendix had ruptured, and I think it ruptured at dinner, and because that's when it really started hurting really badly.
Yeah.
And I just thought I was constipated. That's the problem.
I've heard enough stories of appendix situations where they get ignored to a point where it becomes really serious that anytime I feel pain in that general area, it's on my radar. It's on my radar.
I think it's on the right side.
It's lower right abdomen.
Side?
Yeah,
yes.
It's like down there. Anytime I feel pain in that general direction. And the good news is, from all the stories I've heard, is it gets really badly painful before it's becomes the problem. So like you're going to know something's wrong. Obviously, like you ended up in the emergency room before, but it's always on my radar because that's just horrifying. The fact that useless Oregon could just rupture and kill you. It's like an IED inside your body.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. That's
y'all know my friend Stout, or at least you've heard me talk about him.
This is the story that set me off about it.
We were at youth group in high school. And we were like, just, we would show up to youth group and it was at a basketball gym. And so we would just like play basketball or dodgeball. You played a bunch of games while you waited for everyone to get there. And then you would like split off into groups. And so we were in the process of like playing games. And he was like, I'm gonna go sit on the stage. Like my stomach's kind of hurting me. He's like, I think I'm constipated or something. And so he like went over and we were like all joking with him. Like, I don't know, it was high school. So we were just making fun of him. And so like we're sitting there through life group. And he's just like getting more and more just like, oh my gosh, guys. I'm like, Stout, dude, like calm down. Like you just gotta poop. Just go to the bathroom. You're gonna be like a pain about it the whole time. And so we were all like joking around with him. He's finally like, I gotta call my dad. Like I can't be here anymore. And so he calls his dad and he like we kept joking with him, obviously, a bunch of high school guys. So we just like kept joking. He leaves. And as he's leaving, I'm like, watch us like all be joking with him. He like ruptured an appendix or something. Like what? And we all like bust up laughing, haha. And the next day, he just doesn't show up at school. And we're like, that's weird. Like, that's interesting. Like, no one get a hold of him. Like, everyone was like texting him and stuff. Like, hey, man, what's going on? Like, we got a basketball game tomorrow. Like, you good? And like, he's just not responding. And it turns out his appendix, I don't think it had ruptured. But it was like super swollen. Like he had appendicitis. It was super swollen. So when he showed up to the hospital, they like put him in emergency surgery, and he was like recovering. So he was still on like coming off anesthesia, and so that's why he wasn't answering texts. He wasn't looking at his phone.
So funny, dude.
And yeah, he sure enough, his appendix had just
brutal.
That's what that was going on.
Don't mess with your appendix.
It's crazy how that like stuff inside there is just basically poison, and so when it ruptured,
it's in your blood. It's not good.
Is that what you were throwing up? Were you just throwing up like the bile or whatever?
No. I think the morphine really, because again, I don't take any. Like I rarely ever even take like a Tylenol.
It's some pretty strong stuff.
Yeah.
And so my body, I think rejected that.
What? How long ago was this? Like 5-6 years?
Yeah, it had to have been 5 or 6 years ago.
Do you still have a scar from it?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, it's like
just a little scar.
Yeah. Oh, it is on the right side.
I don't know how big an appendix is.
Don't they just go in now with like just like 3 dots? Just
that's how big the scar is, but it's literally like paper thin. So you would have to. My hair like pretty much covers it unless you like are looking for it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably pretty low invasive these
Hunter,
days.
I think you're talking about like knee surgeries and stuff. Like my mom's knee surgery is like this big of a scar from her quad basically down below her knee, and mine they just did the holes. But I think for the appendix, I think they actually do.
That makes sense because you got.
I guess they got to pull it out. They're not fixing something. They're getting rid of something.
I think they actually are slicing you open and getting that crap out of there.
All right. Well, before we jump into,
you guys got your tonsils. Hold on. You guys got your tonsils?
Yeah. That's my.
Okay, I do too. So we all got our tonsils.
I do have my tonsils.
We got one.
I do have my tonsils.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Did you get them removed or not? I'm just asking.
You get your tonsils.
You would know if you got them removed.
I got my wisdom teeth out. I
Okay, I was like,
I got my wisdom teeth out.
I don't know what they look like.
I got my tonsils.
For a second, I thought my tonsil was that little dangly thing.
I still have my wisdom teeth.
Yeah, so my wisdom teeth getting taken out. Is the only time I ever snuck narcotics into a concert.
There you go.
Wow,
we're just all turning ourselves in today. Indecent exposure, morphine addiction.
Pooping in a dumpster is fine. That's legal.
I always thought it was funny because I got my wisdom teeth out on Thursday, and there was this like concert series in Lynchburg on Friday, and so I got my wisdom teeth out like my senior year of high school or something, and I was feeling great the next day, and so my brother was like, "Hey, do you still want to go with me to Lynchstock?" is what it was called.
Lynchstock.
And I was like, "Yeah, I'll go." I was like, "But I gotta take this medicine like every 4 hours or 6 hours or whatever it is." I was like, and I mean,
Was it hydrocodone? Is
I
that
don't know
they
what
give
it
you?
was. I have no idea what
It
they
might
gave
have
me.
been.
You were timed up right in the middle of the concert.
And so I was like, I got to take this with me to the concert. Like,
She was popping pills.
I was like, I'm probably gonna be
You
stopped.
fit right in though.
I was like, I'm probably gonna
Yeah.
be stopped because you had to go through a security thing,
Yeah.
like to walk.
Not
in
at
this,
Lynch stock, brother. They
Well,
want that stuff there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I
They
just
You know
wanna
where
get
to hide 'em.
crazy.
well, I just put it in my back pocket,
Boom.
and so because I had a backpack with me because I needed I brought water and stuff.
It's probably not where I would have put them,
And
but
so I just
okay.
I just like had them in like a little plastic bag, which made it even worse. I don't know what I wasn't thinking. I was on
What
drugs.
are you doing?
I was on whatever
Just show 'em
pain
your
meds. I
gauze.
was out of it. And
That's
so
that's where you need to get the little Tic Tacs and just put a couple of them
I
in the
just
little
put it
Tic
in a
Tacs.
plastic bag in my back pocket, walked
Brodie's
through the
a
metal
pro,
detector,
man.
and they checked my backpack, handed
I
me my
used to-
bag, and I was like, I did it. I've made it in.
I used to
Does
date a girl that was is addicted to weed, the right way of saying it. Really
Sure.
liked weed. Really liked weed. And so I learned all the tricks on like, oh yeah, like I just buy a bag of gummy bears and then I put these weed gummies in the bag of gummy bears and no one ever says anything. It's like, oh, that's actually really smart.
There you go. Brodie's an expert.
All right, well,
Disc golf.
before we get into this, the guessing game,
Yeah,
I
this
wanna
is
take
almost kind of like a banter podcast,
Yeah, I
which
know.
honestly I don't mind.
I want to take a moment to shout out Foundation Care. So if you haven't heard about Foundation Care, this month only, January, this month, over at foundationdisc.com, all orders, Foundation Care is included with all orders. Basically, what Foundation Care allows you to do is pick up any disc you want to try out, and you get 30 days to use it, abuse it, try it however you want. And if you decide for any reason that you don't like it, you just send us an email. We'll send you a shipping label, and you can exchange it for any disc that you know you do like. So if you've always wanted to try out that Thunderbird, and this is the month to do it, you just buy it over at foundationdisc.com. It's covered. You get it in, you throw it for 30 days, you're gonna love it. But if for some reason you don't, and you're like, dang it, wish I would have just got the Vulture that I knew I loved, just send us an email. We'll send you the shipping label. Boom, boom, swap. You now have the Vulture instead.
Just a
That's
straight
how
Vulture.
it works. So
Just a straight Volter.
January only, all orders over at foundationdisc.com are Foundation Care is included. This is normally a $2 service. And for month of January, it is included. You can learn more over at foundationdisc.com. If you want to read the actual description of everything, and you search Foundation Care at the top, and you'll be able to find the product and learn more there.
Are we finally getting this? It's just a straight Vulture in 2024. The stamp. I
We
mean,
need to.
at this point, I want royalties. I'm demanding them actually.
Maybe.
But how much does Brodie say it in content is the question. Like he says
I
it
say
to
it a
us
lot.
All the time.
I say it a lot because
All right, let's get- so how the
a lot
game-
of times it is just a straight Vulture.
How the game's going to work today is going to be twofold. So if you remember,
Yeah,
Yes,
people
two
got really
folds.
people got pissed off at you.
Did they?
Rightfully so. Yeah, I think so in the comments.
I
Get
didn't
your
even
phone
read
away
it.
from the mic.
Get your phone away from that mic.
I hate that. For yeah, changing the game and like
That's fair.
now all of a sudden if you go over by 1 but someone goes under by
That's right. We're gonna
2,000.
No,
clear
it's
it.
okay.
You
We're gonna
had a
clear it
fever,
right here.
guys.
We had to
Stop.
figure it out. I had a fever last week. It's
Yeah.
all good. How does it work?
Christopher Walken.
But that's who's in the skit.
Yeah,
That makes
there it
sense.
is.
Consider your impression was really good.
Yeah, shit, man. I think we need more cowbell.
He's the one who introduces the Foo Fighters on SNL and goes, Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Yes,
Says it. He
yes.
enunciated it. Yeah.
Yes. I love Christopher Walken.
So how this is gonna work is the picture's gonna pop up, and your first goal is no hints, no clues. You're just gonna look at the picture and decipher what division you think they're in. If you guess the right division, then when we go to guess the rating, your rating is however far off you are is divided by 2. There
Excellent.
is no more without going over. None of that. It's
Okay.
just you want to get the closest to the rating that you can. Whoever has the fewest points at the end wins. Trevor, you won last week. Do you want to go
Excellent.
first or second?
I want to go first.
All right, side
real
guy.
quick question.
Does going
now.
first matter in this one, though? Because can we guess the same division now?
That's a good point. What do we think? Do we like guessing the same division?
I
or
feel
no?
like you should be able to guess the same division in this game.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Real quick question though for you guys: if I sent you a picture of myself, what ranking would you say I was in Risk in the world?
89th.
Well, it depends on the picture. If you're wearing those glasses, considerably better than if you're not.
What ranking are you?
Last I checked, I was like 60 or 58.
Last
or
night I
something
scrolled
like
till
that.
I found Brodie.
In
and
the
it was 89th.
world?
It was 89th last night. You
Yeah,
gotta
I
pick it
haven't.
up.
I haven't played in a few days. So I,
I
think
played a
someone
ranked
left past
game last
me.
night.
Gosh.
Oh, I turned my back on my alliance at the very end. It was a beautiful moment.
You love doing that,
Oh,
it was
Greg. I
incredible.
hate people like
He's
that.
the
It was incredible.
imposter,
Well,
man.
we didn't have an actual alliance. It was just like it was an understood alliance. And then he started attacking this other dude and just left his border weak. And I just ran
Can't do
through
that.
him.
Not near
I ran
a
Oh,
big
through
he
him.
hunt.
trusted you. He trusted
me, and I was
Good
like,
enough.
but it was the perfect. There was only 3 of us left, so it guaranteed me
perfect
second
opening.
place if I went for him.
He's
And
a
I did.
homewrecker.
But that's after that. I checked the rankings, and you were in 89th. So
Okay, I gotta play a couple more games.
play
I haven't
some more
played in a few.
games.
I've been opening too many card packs. I need to play some more Risk here.
but yeah, 89th in the world's impressive. 60th in the world when you're up there is even more impressive.
You should put that in your Twitter bio. That's really
That's
funny.
very funny. All right, side guy, let's get this first picture up here. Here you go. So first off, no hints or anything. You're just looking at this and tell me what division does Randy is his name play in?
Is that creamy or crunchy? Because
Gotta
I
go
don't
full
trust
screen
anyone that
sicko
goes.
mode. Creamy.
I don't go
I do believe it is
anyone.
creamy.
Okay, good. I don't trust anyone that goes
Crunchy
crunchy.
peanut butter is great. I'll do both.
Okay, he's got a roller bag.
He's got a pretty
here.
legit setup, and like I'm even noticing he's keeping stuff in the undercarriage. Like this guy plans out his disc golf rounds. He plays
Socks
a lot
worry me.
of
Socks worry me.
That's silly because this is
The
disc golf.
socks are worrying me.
This guy plays a lot of disc golf. That doesn't mean he's in open, but he plays a lot of disc golf. He's got like the strap that goes onto the handle of the bag that holds putters in it. He's got attachments galore. His bag is super geared out. I'm going to say that this guy is
What kind of plastic is that
MA1.
putter?
Trevor
MA1.
says MA1.
What kind of plastic is that putter?
I don't
Tough to
think
say. I'm thinking burst. I'm thinking a
Tough.
burst baseline
Okay.
trilogy. That's what I'm thinking.
The socks is what I'm really worried about here. The
This
socks
guy
is
could be
the-
MPO for me, but
I'm going to say
tough.
MA3. I'm going to say
MA3 for
MA3.
Brodie. The correct answer was MA1. Trevor is going to be divided into two when we guess the rating here.
Come
Okay,
on.
so Randy here, I'm gonna give you
Well
some.
done.
I'm gonna give you some stats about him, and
Okay,
then you're gonna
freaking
guess his rating.
socks.
And Trevor, however far off he is, divided by 2.
That's huge.
Brodie is straight up.
that's so huge.
He has played 10 total career events, with only 3 of them coming in this year.
Wow.
0 career wins, and I think that's about
interesting.
all the information I can
So
really
he's
give
not
you.
a
It's
big
lot.
tournament
Can you
golfer.
tell us where he's from? I think that's a good
Missouri,
one.
Fair Play, Missouri.
And by 3 of them this year, you meant last year.
Oh wow, no, I mean 2 years ago. 2022 was the last tournaments he played.
So he hasn't played in a minute, but he's keeping up with disc golf enough to have sent in this picture. Just not a big
How the
tournament
heck
golfer.
does he have a rating?
Not
if
a
he
big
hasn't
tournament
played
golfer.
in a year.
You keep your
You
rating.
keep your rating.
I haven't played in forever.
Oh.
Okay, then this rating could be super tough, even though he's an MA1. Like this could be anywhere. I'm glad I have the bonus here because this is going to be tough. I'm gonna say,
Missouri.
man,
One.
do you say he has any wins?
0 wins, 10 career events.
I'm gonna say 939.
939 is Trevor's answer. Brodie?
Crap, that's pretty good. I'm gonna go 924.
924 is Brodie's answer. Okay. Let me do some math here. So Trevor, with his divided by 2, gets 10 points.
You're 20 off.
He's 959 or 9.
Hopefully he's not
19.
950. Hopefully he's
Oh,
down.
Brodie at 920. What'd you say? 924?
Yeah.
4.
924. Brodie
Please tell me he doesn't get 5
gets
points.
5 points.
Oh
What an
my
answer for Brodie. 919.
Dang it, dude.
919 was the correct answer
It was the
for the
socks.
rating there.
In the wrong
that's
division,
round one.
man.
Unbelievable.
I knew it was going to be a little bit fraudulent. Like MA1 is so tough because like I knew he was going to be not like a 970 guy
High
that's playing
900s,
MA1.
yeah.
But 919, man, don't
What a shot from Brodie there. All right,
Don't
Brodie
be
goes
playing in that
first with
division.
this next guy. Let's get this next picture up. Here we go.
Oh my gosh.
All right. His
lefty?
name is Kevin.
Kelsey doesn't trust lefties. Neither do I.
Got
My
Kevin.
son's a lefty. I
This
think.
shirt looks
division is
very familiar to a shirt that's coming out soon for Tour Life.
That shirt looks like the shirt you get when you go to Etsy and Google or like search disc golf shirt.
What the heck is on his shorts? What is that?
They're kind of sick.
Is that just bushes? Are those
I feel
berry
like
bushes?
I feel like he's wearing Terexes, so he plays enough that he's rocking the Terexes, but the 2 hands on the disc thing is concerning, although he looks locked in as much as anybody. I mean, look at the eyes.
Okay, was this a staged photo? I'm starting to think this might have been a staged photo. Who
Okay,
the
he's
heck is
throwing because
standing?
he's throwing in the direction of
Yes,
it.
who the heck is standing there? This is a staged
Staged photo.
I think there's a fake out. This guy is
Sneaky lefty, man. He's a sneaky lefty.
MA2.
MA2 for
I'm gonna
Brodie.
say
Trevor.
MA3.
MA3 for Trevor. And the correct answer was MA3.
I'm
Trevor,
a beast.
2
I'm
for
a
2.
beast.
Trevor's 2 for 2. Okay.
Unfortunately, it hasn't helped me yet.
Now, let me give you the stats here. So MA3 was his correct division. Last season, he played 51 events.
Wow. Playing that many events, and you're still in MA3.
events.
I'm sorry.
And he's been doing this for 2 years.
Doing it
2
for the
seasons.
longest.
Okay. You're still new to the sport. I take
2
that back.
seasons, 51 events, both seasons, 102 total career events,
Heck yeah.
7 career wins. And he is from Texas.
Okay, MA3 guy from Texas.
Okay, I've got my guess. I've got my guess. Thumbs up.
MA3 guy from Texas is going to be 875.
875 for Brodie. Okay, and he does not get the divided by 2.
891.
891 for Trevor, and he does get the divided by 2.
I'm happy with taking 15 points here.
All right.
I'm happy with taking 15 points.
So hard.
So Trevor, after the divided by 2, got 9 points.
Okay, that's not
Yeah.
bad.
on the low
Brody
side, be on the low
Smith
side.
gets 2 points. See, the guy's 873 rated.
Come on.
Brody's on an all-time level right now.
I'm gonna.
Come on!
He can't figure out if we were just playing the normal ratings game the way it was last week, I'd be killing
here's the
him because
problem.
he'd be way out of the same range.
I don't know really like the ratings because unlike you guys, I've never played in these other divisions. I've only played in one division my whole life. So I don't
I've never played
know.
in MA3.
I don't know what these ratings are like as far as like what division you should
Well,
be
I
in.
guess it's a good thing I've kept myself in it.
Yeah.
How many of
y'all
these
both
are
still
there?
alive. There's 5 total. We're
Okay,
2 down.
okay.
This is
Yeah,
back to
you'd be-
Trevor going
Yeah,
first.
you're
Long
fine.
game.
I could
Lot of golf, lot of golf.
I could completely mess this up.
A lot of golf
Back
to
to
play.
Trevor going first here. Here's
Okay.
the next picture.
Ooh.
Love this one.
This guy plays.
USCGC. Okay.
This guy plays.
This
Nice
guy looks like
bag.
a
Got the grip
freaking
bag.
baller.
Jomez
His
jersey. No.
He
What
did
does
his
that
hair
jersey?
before he played. He did his hair before he
That
played.
looks sick. Got the wristbands going.
That is a Jomez Pro jersey.
Is
no?
Jomez?
Or Thought Space?
It's a Thought
Is that
Space.
Thought Space?
Thought Space.
Thought space.
Space?
Hmm.
Okay.
Thought space. Could be on like a
Grip
low key, like a
bag.
street team. Not the Terex
Does
is.
Okay.
This guy could be a pro for sure.
Also throwing up the double, the peace sign versus the one. Kind of swag. Sideways too. Not even straight up tourist.
This could be a total trap card, but I'm just gonna go with my gut here and say MPO. Could be a
Trevor,
total
yeah.
trap card.
Brody?
Gosh.
You can
I've
agree.
been wrong. I know. I want to say MPO. I do really bad.
Hunter likes to throw in those traps. You know he does, but maybe
word
he's
was sent to
reversing his
me.
trap.
Give me MA1.
MA1
Okay.
for Brody.
I'm glad you didn't go any further down because this
The
could totally
correct
be the trap
answer
card.
was MA2.
Okay.
The
It was a
correct
trap
answer
card.
was MA2.
Trap
Trap
card.
card.
Trap card.
Trap card.
That was
So
a
this
freaking
guy,
trap card. That guy looks like a monster. That guy looks like he would absolutely shred.
his name is Seth Alley. He is also from Fairplay,
Sick.
Missouri. I feel like we just had someone from Fairplay,
Sick.
Missouri. He has played 23 career events, never taken down one.
He's
he
new
played
to the
8
sport.
career events last year. He's been playing for 4 years in the PDGA. His best finish, he had 3 second place finishes last season.
Okay.
MA2 is his division.
926.
926 for Trevor.
I
Ready?
just need something here, and I don't have my little boost this time.
909.
909. for
Brody likes just short people, man, and it's working every time. I'm giving people too much benefit of the doubt. I know he just put it on the dot.
Okay.
Hunter with his little smirk over there.
Trevor comes in with 24 points.
Oh my gosh, bro, he's 905 rated.
Brody,
What did I say?
he was 902 rated. Brody gets 7 points there. Brody has not had one outside of the single digits.
This guy- Brody
this
is
man's
dialed.
on fire. He's
Brody
on
is
fire.
dialed.
I don't know how. I don't know how he's doing it. I don't know how he's doing it.
This guy is unreal.
That is an incredible performance.
What I'm
Unbelievable
learning about
performance.
disc golf mostly is you are getting all these people are either like shouldn't probably be playing. I mean, that's a low end intermediate rating. Like that's fair to be playing MA2. But man, I feel like I don't know. If you like the guys that are winning MA2 tournaments a lot of times are like 940 rated.
No, 940. You
when-
have to be an MA1.
I was gonna say, what's the cutoff?
935 is the cutoff.
Okay, well then maybe like
9:35.
9:30, I guess, is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I just feel
Like
like
the
2
high
second
nine-
place or multiple second places. The tough thing with ratings though is like this guy's rating might have been 925 a month ago. Like they fluctuate so much at that AM level. Like they can just go all over the place. So who knows?
All right. Let's bring in this next guy here. 2 more.
Bro, you're feedbacking your
gosh,
mic again.
I got nothing going on over here.
Maybe it's not you.
Is it my
Got it.
watch? Is it my watch? My watch just told me what my body was.
No. I just hear this little
Oh,
crinkling.
I slept terribly
Oh,
last
Hunter-
night.
That was hit him with it. He said it was you.
I'm not doing anything.
Okay,
I haven't
it's
done
really
anything.
faint.
Here we go.
Is it still doing it?
It's really quiet.
What division is
I hear
Peyton
nothing.
on the screen in?
I mean, this is the greatest disc golf photo I've ever seen.
Good photo.
This is an incredible photo taken by a professional photographer who should have every right to have a media vote in who should be player of the year.
Nice outfit, nice shoes, Tour Series disc. Is that a Paul Luna? Is that what we're looking at?
It is a
Macbeth.
Macbeth Luna. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really good run too.
MA3.
MA3 for Brodie.
So
Trevor?
Brodie's trying to pull out. I was on the same track. I was thinking also. I can't play defense right now though. I have to play offense. This guy could literally be in any division. I'm gonna say MPO.
MPO. The correct division was MPO.
Thank you. Okay, I needed
Congratulations,
that.
Trevor. All right,
I
Trevor
needed
gets
that.
Trevor gets the
I
half.
need this.
Trevor gets the division here.
Please.
All right, so this is Peyton Stahman out of Indianapolis, Indiana.
Kid's a
He
beast.
is a professional since 2020, I do believe. He's
Yeah,
been
he's a
he's played
beast.
4 years, 74 career events, 26 career wins, $6,732 of career earnings, with 4,900 of those coming in this past season.
Oh my gosh, he's a
What
beast.
is Peyton's rating?
He's a beast. Brodie's first. Oh my gosh, he's an absolute tank. This guy's borderline on the tour.
10-12.
10-12 for
That's
Brodie.
a really good guess. I mean, that's just a guess that's not going to gain me points. Like that
Never.
has to be in the thick of it. There's no way he's plus 1020. That'd be nuts. And because he's not touring.
Tough to be sub 1,000 and win that many times too.
Mm.
In the Midwest.
I'm going to have to just say 1003. I'm going to have to play that way. And I
Okay,
could be
Trevor.
wrong, but I don't really have a choice at this point because that's the only way I can make up ground.
Okay, Trevor gets 3.5 points.
Okay.
Nice.
Phenomenal.
Nice.
But
Not
that
really
means that Brodie Smith gets 2 points because the guy
Yeah.
is 10-10 rated.
Yeah, you put that one
Brodie.
on the nose.
What a performance so far. I don't know how. I don't know if he like got a cheat sheet or something.
MPO, like local MPO guy is almost always right around 10-10. Like there.
Brodie's at 16 points total.
Yeah, that's
He's
insane.
averaging 4 points per guess right
I
now.
need these last. Is there 2 more? Or
Is-
one more?
is it one more?
I need him to be in an AM division because that's the only way you can gain points. You
All
can't MPO. They're going to be within 30 points every
Well,
time.
I saved this one for last.
How many points am I down? I need to know.
Okay, so Brodie is at,
billion.
I believe that was what I say, 16.
I'm probably down like 35 to 40 points,
Let's see here. Let's break up.
which I don't even know if is
Trevor.
recoverable. Because
I mean,
you'd have-
anything's recoverable.
no, I go
You'd
first.
have to
So it's
get-
not.
yeah,
he
you'd
can
have
just
to
guess.
get
He
a-
can guess right on me and beat me.
I won't do that. Come on.
Trevor's at 46.5. Brodie's at 16, so you're down 30.
30.
Very,
Yeah,
very.
it's
I
I'm
saved,
a man of honor. I'm a man of honor, Trevor.
I saved this one for last.
I have to guess the division. That's my only hope.
All right, side guy, bring up the final guy here.
Oh, look at this photo. Who is that? Disc what? Game Stopper? What is this?
What the heck? Where are they?
What disc is that? That's a sick T-pad. Holy cow, that's a nice T-pad. Where the heck is this? Is he playing? He's playing. I mean, he's got he's got someone taking a photo of him, obviously, and then you got someone behind recording him. This guy's a baller. This guy's an international superstar.
You won't guess a rating in the blind. You won't. You won't-
That's not really the game.
You won't guess ratings in the blind for final round.
974.
Oh,
Hey.
he did.
He did it. 974. Trevor.
900.
900 for Trevor.
Give me that.
974. Let me read you his stats then here, since this is how we're doing it. Let me calculate this up here first. Trevor,
I
what
should
did
have
you
gone
guess?
a little higher. 900. I should have gone a little higher. I got too
multiple
excited.
people filming him, Trevor.
So what?
Okay, let me
So
just
why?
read you. Let me read you a few more. Let me read you a few stats for him here. So this is out of Australia. First off,
Yes, international superstar. This guy's a superstar.
he has 15 career events,
This
10
guy's a
career wins,
monster.
and
This
he
guy's
is
a monster.
globally ranked in the Masters Series at
This guy's a freaking
433rd.
international superstar.
One of you came within 2.
Yeah, I wonder who.
That person was
wonder-
Trevor Staub. Brody was 76 points off. This is Ashley Carter. He plays an MA 50 and he is 898
No.
rated. Trevor with the win there. Trevor with the win.
Ratings in the blind, baby.
That game was incredible.
I thought that guy was an
funny.
international superstar.
I mean, I thought
No.
he was ranked in the Masters division. I was like, I thought I was toast. 970 is pretty high though, even for that. Like,
No, I thought he was
man.
a good. I thought he was a good Masters player. I thought he was like
He'd be a great
high
Masters player. That's so
No.
funny.
No.
Wow,
970 is
suckered you in.
Yeah,
What?
Brody, you
Although he plays MA 50.
No one would have guessed the division.
Yeah, I'd say even with those stats though,
Yeah.
like there still could have been a lot of separation, but I don't think I ever would have guessed him that low. A shot. I had
There
to do
you
it.
have it. Wow, what a game. Okay,
That was a
that worked
great
out
game.
well.
Comeback kid.
All right, let's get into our first topic here. Jason said, why 3-player cards are the future? He said, I went to 2022 Green Mountain Championship for my first ever Disc Golf Pro Tour event. The final day of the tournament was scheduled to have a lot of rain coming for the afternoon of the tournament, and Brodie had just made the cut and was on the first card of the day for MPO. I noticed that Brodie was on a threesome with Corey Ellis and Colton Montgomery, and this was during one of Brodie's many pace of play rants throughout the years, so I was just curious how fast they were going to play. The tee time was at 12 p.m., so we followed the card the whole way through on Fox Run. The card did not play much differently than any other card on tour, except for they walked with purpose to all their shots and didn't chit-chat the entire time. The entire round took only an hour and 50 minutes, and they had 10 minutes left to spare before we got poured on the rest of the day, while watching the Umbrella Gate and Chris Dickerson's layup heard around the world. All this to ask, do you guys think having rounds be able to be done in 2 hours would help live disc golf become more accessible, and does that outweigh the losing 3 to 4 players from top cards that we are covering?
That is a great question because
Yeah.
that is the question.
I would say that is not the first step because like you do want to be able to watch people. Like at the end of the day, like I do want to be able to watch as many people as possible. For me as a viewer and a paid subscriber, I'm willing to trade like 30 to 40 minutes of round time to get extra players on camera. Just because it's still going to be a pretty long commitment no matter what if you're sitting down to watch live disc golf. Like I'm okay with that. Now, if it was any worse, then I would be down for it. But like, I don't know. I'm very big on pace of play, and I think there's so much we could do with just players being intentional about it before reducing the cards. If we could film everybody and that wasn't an issue, then I would say, yeah, of course, threesomes. That makes sense.
Well, I think we've been filming so many different cards recently anyways. Like we've
and I think
had
that's
people...
good though. Like
No,
I
I
don't
think that's great. But that's what I'm saying is like if we're already able to film so many different cards and like people on so many different
right
cards,
now
how
they can,
many players would we lose going to threesomes?
well, right
Like,
now they
how
can
many people would it
only
actually
get right now that seems like they can only get 2 cards plus a like floater. Like that seems like what they were doing last year is like we've got lead card, chase card, and a floater in
We would
case
lose
somebody
like two
They're-
people.
They're working on those
could be
stationary.
important, though.
You gotta remember those stationary cameras. They're working on those more. We've seen those now at Worlds. We've seen those now at USCGC. They're pretty much just for the big events. But if they can somehow figure out a way of doing those at every event and not just the majors, now all of a sudden you have tons more players, tons more throws that.
and
you
if they
can
get
incorporate
one more camera / camera operator, then problem solved.
Yeah, because I mean, you do
Just go
always
3
hear
cards deep.
the biggest thing you always hear is just like the time commitment for live.
Yeah.
So that is true. Like if going to threesomes really did reduce it by.
Wait,
I mean,
Silas, real quick, go full screen. You guys see this get up that Kelsey just walked in. Go full screen for me. Hold on, real quick. Look at this freaking get up. Look at that jacket.
Merch.
I got like my little pins for.
Oh, you get like pins throughout it.
Oh my gosh.
Hang on.
Put
Better
that
than
in
Dallas
the loop.
Cowboys?
That, Trevor just asked better than Dallas Cowboys. And I didn't respond.
Oh,
Whoa.
no response. Wow.
It's
Trouble in
that.
paradise.
Did you watch the game last week?
Which one? The Raiders or the Cowboys?
Raiders.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it was great.
You flying out for the Broncos game this weekend? It's gonna be electric.
Supposed to get covered in ice this weekend.
Neither one
Here in
have any
Virginia.
shot at the playoffs, and Russell Wilson's not playing. It's gonna be great.
Jared Stidham, baby.
The future?
Nope.
Okay.
Anyways,
Sorry. Okay, that was tangent. Go back.
Well,
Hunter.
yeah, it's just a question of like, if threesomes were able to actually get rounds from like 4.5 down to 2, it's a no-brainer.
well, yeah,
But I
that
don't
would be
think that would happen.
yeah, I'd say that would be the thing is like how much time would actually decrease. I think it's significant. Like, okay, let's say I would say like one individual person shots per hole. You're talking about a 2 minute per hole, maybe 2.5 minute per hole, like decrease in time spent. So, you know, that
30,
adds up.
40 minutes?
I think you're looking at
Also-
45 minutes is what you could be looking at.
Also, you have to take into account too when we play in the woods, the more people you have on the card, the higher percentage it is for someone to have a rough hole.
Yeah,
And
or
someone
lose a
to be in-
disc and
someone be in the
Yeah.
woods. So
Would also be a
the
question
more-
of like, what would it do to backups?
Yes, because the more
Yeah.
you spread it out, now if you have a twosome, if you let's say we all had twosomes, right? And let's say 10 people had bad holes in a twosome situation, right?
yeah.
That would the pace of play for that would be so much faster if one person was having a bad hole and then one other person had to play the hole. Then if one person's having a bad hole and 3 more people have to play the hole.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big one too, is when we get into the woods, I think that's where you would really actually see a fast pace of play situation by lowering it from 4 to 3.
It's definitely
Yeah.
something I think the Pro Tour, if they're not already thinking through.
I
should
mean, the
think
idea of slow play in disc golf is already just kind of the funniest thing ever. Now, some of the courses, I guess, yeah, you're in thick woods, but it's like the more open ones, it can't be any more simple. Just walk to your disc and throw it.
Also, there are already things that are like unfair. I guess you could say that are unfair in disc golf, right? Of where if you're in the lead card, you're going to have cameras filming you. You're going to have a gallery versus if you're on 4th or 5th card, you don't have any of that. So the question is, why don't we just make it to where if you want to keep 4 people and not lose coverage, why not like just a slow step instead of just ripping off the band-aid and being like, we're going to threesomes? Why not just do like the first 20 cards out are going out in threesomes and then
Yeah.
everyone else is in foursomes?
Just so backups
just-
don't start.
Yeah, just to kind of slow wave it. I mean, and also like I've said it a million times, I'll keep saying it. When we have these massive fields of like 130 plus people, you got to send people off on hole 1 and hole 10.
Yeah.
we got to start doing that.
Yeah.
Because
I totally agree.
this idea that we're starting a tournament, I mean, a lot of times we're starting it with FPO, but the idea that at 9 o'clock, let's say, half the course is still empty is crazy to me.
Yeah.
You got to get everyone on. You got to get all those holes filled
No,
immediately.
that makes sense. I mean, sometimes they do that on the PGA Tour.
They do that at a lot of events.
People, oh my gosh, I can't imagine though. People in disc golf would have a field day. Like, it's just not fair. James Conrad had to play the back half first, man.
Back half's way tougher. It's
not fair.
No chance to build momentum.
Yeah. Guess what happens though? The next day he plays the
You
front half.
flip-flop,
and
yeah.
The other people play the back half. What are we
True.
doing here?
What are we
fair.
doing?
Trash Can Disc Golf wants to know if Brodie had to pick one sport to go pro in for the win, which would it be and why?
Oh, wow.
For
That's your
What?
Netflix series, I do believe.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, we did a bunch of just random sports that people never really heard of. So it was really cool. I would probably say, gosh, Battleship was really fun.
What was Battleship?
And-
Was it just like
Yeah, like
just
actual battleship.
or was it like
So you're in you put 2 canoes in a pool,
oh,
and one person has a paddle, and one person has a bucket, and the first one to sink the other canoe completely wins.
That's electric.
It's a pretty fun game. Underwater hockey, absolutely not. That's the bottom of the barrel because I almost died doing that game.
That game looks terrifying.
I suck in the water. I can't hold my breath very long. I don't float. I'm gonna go with bicycle hockey.
Yeah, good one.
Bicycle
Mainly
hockey.
because they don't have back brakes. They only have front brakes. And it was pretty nasty. Like you would basically see these guys go from 0 to 100 in 15 seconds, throw on their front brake, and so their back,
They swing it around,
flips up, and they just freaking. Oh no, it was polo. That's what it was. It was polo. It was bicycle polo.
Bicycle polo is
what it was, not hockey. Sorry, yeah.
Similar
I'll do
vibes.
bicycle. I'll do bicycle
Bicycle
polo. That
That's
game
electric.
was fun.
There you go. All right, we're going to go down here to JJ Robble's question. He said, so one of my favorite discs is the Prodigy A5. And based on the naming convention, you would assume the A5 is understable, but the A5 flies pretty similar to a Zone. My question is, what is a disc that you expected to do one thing, but were completely surprised on how it flew?
Ooh.
Good question.
I mean, for me, the Felon. Obviously, anyone who's ever watched anything that we put out knows. I thought the Felon was going to be like the most overstable thing that existed.
Wow, I'm surprised you didn't badmouth my machete like you normally do.
The machete's up there too. You throw that thing on Anheuser
fraud.
and it just doesn't come out.
I'm trying to think if there is one.
Not my
I feel like there's one
machete.
recent. Probably the Ring Zone. Just was like really boring.
I think
Expecting more
the
of it.
Bang Zone officially won. It was up by like 200
Is anybody
votes.
paying attention to that?
It was up by 200 votes last time I saw.
Talk about letting the hype die. Like they haven't even brought it up.
Are the votes being rigged? What's going on?
I think the votes end this month at some point.
Yeah, they should end soon.
Can
Well,
I-
last
can
I
I-
saw, the Bang Zone was up by 200.
That's electric. I didn't think we were gonna win.
Can I go off a little bit of a tangent real quick?
Absolutely.
Do you guys know about, again, I'm learning all about this new hobby of mine, the card collecting situation. Do you guys know about breaks?
What do you mean breaks?
Okay. So breaks is like I have a pack of cards, right? I can go to the store and buy this pack for $7 myself and open it and I get to keep all the cards. But let's say this pack is $700. I no longer have $700 to open this pack. So what I do is I go to someone that has this pack and I buy a team. So I buy a team for $50 and any card that he pulls out of the pack that is that team, I get.
That's electric.
Okay. So it makes sense for the person opening the pack because there's 30 teams. They sell each for $50, let's say. That's $1,500. They bought the pack for $1,000, right? So they make up $500 regardless of what cards come out. You also paid $50 and you could pull a $1,000 card, right? So that's the idea of it. I just watched one where this guy pulls this card that had like a $500 bounty on it. And how they do it, let me one second. So how they do it is you get your stack of cards here, okay? And here we go. Thanks, Silas. You get your stack of cards. And so what they'll do is they'll go like this, and you can see the borders of what's going to come. And these guys, so you can see right here, like this orange border is different than all the silver, right? So they know what like cards are massive. And so what happened was he did it and was like, oh my gosh, is this the card? He takes the cards off camera, sets them down, and is like, oh my gosh, this is nuts. This is nuts. Like keeps talking, then brings the card back on camera and then does like the slow reveal and is like, oh, it's not it. And you can tell the border is completely different from the card.
He switched it out.
He switched the card out.
This is
And
on you?
apparently,
Or is it
Jail.
on someone else?
no. I'm saying apparently these scams happen. Like these guys are scamming people.
That does seem like a
of
situation.
where it's like you buy the Colts and like, oh, it's a Indianapolis Colts rookie. Oh my gosh. And they take the cards and they set it to the side and they take the $1,000 Anthony Richardson and they switch it out with the freaking Campbell guy that's worth nothing. And they bring it back and they're like, wasn't it? Yeah. What the flip is going on?
Bang on.
I don't know.
Dude, it's nuts. Like, there's so much stuff in the world that we have no idea is happening. Like, that's a crazy thing that's happening to people. They're getting scammed. People are getting scammed, and we have no idea.
Yeah.
Just like when you get a disc and it doesn't fly how it's supposed to. Scam.
Flight numbers.
Scam.
PDJ rating. Scam.
Scam.
PDJ. Scam. PDJ magazine. Scam.
I was fascinated to hear that like someone commented about like how flight numbers kind of came about, and it was like the Leopard was like a 1.6.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did we test that yet?
We haven't tested it. And then
Well,
like
MVP like
T-Bird's,
lists
like
their
1.7.
the MVP
It's just
lists
based off
their
the-
discs
the-
by the millimeters of the rims or the center, whatever it is.
Yeah, millimeters.
The guy was just saying, Hunter, that they just basically took a measurement and then just took the last number, and that was the
yeah,
speed.
so it was like I would imagine since this is a 9-speed, I would imagine that this is probably 1.9. This is probably 1.9. And then
Well,
when
I
you
can
got
look-
to 2.0, it was 10.
I can look this up
And
super
then
easily.
2.1 was
And it's centimeters is what
Give
it
me
is,
an
the
approved.
measurement?
Give me an Innova discs.
let's go with the Corvette.
What
Let's go
speed
with
is
the
the
modern.
Corvette?
Is that 15?
13 or 14.
And I'll read the specs.
I thought the Corvette was the highest speed.
It might be
14.
I can't remember. Well, let's see
Well,
what
it
it
It has
is.
to be
So
it's definitely not 13.
no
chance.
It's a 2.3 centimeters, so that would mean it'd be a 13
That should
speed.
be a
That would be
13
a
speed.
13.
And I'm looking at it. It's a 14 speed. So they're lying.
It broke. Doesn't even matter.
They're lying. What's an
Okay.
older one? Let me like a Beast,
Go-
for
go
example,
Beast is allegedly 2.0,
which would be a 10 speed.
which would be a 10 speed.
Let me see. 2002, man. Yeah, 2.0.
Well, let's look at the Boss. Is the Boss 2.3?
That's a good question. The Boss always feels like
Great
super thick. The Boss is this is from 2008. Is a 2.5. Boss
What?
should be a 15
The
speed.
Boss should be a 15 speed based on the math this guy did. The
Yeah.
Boss is 0.02 thicker than a
Dude,
a disc
that makes sense
Innova
because
is calling.
I've always felt like the Boss is so thick.
How big's the Nuke?
These are the questions we need to be asking. Let's
'Cause,
find
yeah,
Nuke's
'cause
out.
a 14 speed.
The Nuke's 13. The Nuke and the
Yeah.
Boss both are the two that
My-
feel
The
the
Nuke is a
thickest
This
in
just
my
shows
hand.
you. This just shows you how unimportant. speeds are.
2.5.
Okay,
The
so
Nuke should be a 15 speed.
Because what's the Crank? A Crank's also a 13 speed from Discraft.
I bet Crank is a little bit lower.
Crank
I bet
is a
it's like a
little smaller.
2.4.
Yeah, I bet it's
Yeah.
2.3.
Let's
Crank
Feels
see.
goes a
comfortable in
little,
my hand.
little small.
It is a 2.4.
2.4. There you go.
So 1 centimeter. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Well,
That's how we do it here at Foundation. We only
So-
go by the diameter,
white numbers
the
busted.
thickness.
Busted.
Yeah. Take
Well,
that.
it was fun while we thought we knew.
We thought.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up with two stories here, two back-to-back stories to wrap up the show. First one comes from Grant Hinkle. He said, "So this year I was playing the Michigan Junior State Championships and I'm wanting to win really bad, but after the first 2 rounds, I shot a -1. After the first of 2 rounds, I shot a -1, and the kid that was leading was at -8. So at this point, I was just trying to get a podium. My friend was only 1 back from the lead and was playing really good, so I was hyping him up and telling him he better win. At the same time, I was playing good, really good. I just don't look at scores while I play in tournaments, so I didn't really know how I was doing. I was just trying to get podium. During the round, my friend kept going over to my dad, who was also there with me, and was talking to him quietly. I didn't really think anything of it, and so I just kept going. Then at the end of the round, I went to my dad, and I was like, "So how'd I do?" And he told me I won. And I turned around, and the rest of the kids on my card are starting to tear up. I soon found out that I
Wow.
won by 1 stroke and shot a 10:28 rated round as a 14-year-old.
Made him cry.
I found the event here.
Monster.
I went over to the event to see A, to verify the story, and B, see what the heck happened. He's
That's
playing
good
an
journalism.
MJ 15, and he shot a 56 round 1. The hot round was a 49, it looked like. And then he shot a 44 round 2, with the next hot being a 51. He gained 7 strokes on him.
That's insane. If I shot around that hot, you best believe I'd be glued to the live scoring, and I would probably choke halfway through the round.
Yeah, I would.
You would never catch me being the guy that's like, "Oh, I won." No, I would. I'm staring at the live scores.
Yeah.
I know I'm in eighth.
Can you give New Year's resolutions to other people?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, my 2 New Year's resolutions to other people in disc golf.
Okay.
Stop saying good round on the 18th tee. Say it when the round's actually finished, because I could die in the middle of hole 18 and then it no longer is a good round. Like that was not a good round.
You got to
So
say good
please-
round so far.
Yeah. Sure.
now.
Okay.
For now.
That's for now.
Yeah.
Good for
and then
17 holes, man.
And then the other one is no more negative. No more negative. Let's go under. Let's keep it under. Negative
I
makes no sense.
totally
Negative
agree with
7.
that.
Negative 7 makes no sense. You were 7 under par.
Yeah, totally agree.
Negative 7.
Well, it's
And
because
if
when
you-
the number's written out, it's -8.
But
That's
it's-
what that number is.
I
Nah,
Minus
but not
8.
when you're talking about
Don't.
disc golf. Not when you're talking
I'm
about
just
disc
saying,
golf.
-8, that number's
what makes it worse
-8.
is if you say neg.
You just said minus.
I
That's
shot
fine
neg
too.
8. Ooh, that makes you want to
Or
hurt.
pause 4. Ooh, went pause 4
Oh, I've
today.
never heard
I've never
that.
heard that. I've never heard
You made that up. Pause.
I might start that. No,
You
pause
can.
4. Tough day today.
Yeah.
It's tough out there.
All right, this final story comes from Joycel. He said, I think I
These are
peaked on
not
the
real
first hole
names.
during my first ever tournament. On the tee pad before the tournament, I was chatting with my MA4 card mates about how it was my first tournament, and I was nervous. They were all really friendly and told me that they would help me out. I proceeded to put my upshot for par behind a huge pine tree. I couldn't throw around the tree or to the left or right, and I didn't have enough experience with short forehand roller to put it close to the basket. So I just looked to the sky and threw a massive ante over the tree. I looked at my card mates for a clue as to how well I threw it, and one card mate came running over to me with a high five because I just threw it in. With such excitement, I ran to the basket and retrieved my putter. I was feeling good on the next tee, but threw a shot that wasn't close enough for a putt. I needed my get freaky for the upshot. I went to reach for it and realized I'd left it under the giant pine tree from the previous hole. I had to throw a different disc and landed deep in circle 2. So I ran back to the previous hole, got my disc, addressed my new lie, all before it was my turn to putt. Then I stepped up to my lie, winded up full of adrenaline, and somehow nailed that putt. My card was a lot less excited this time and started to think I was sandbagging. I then proceeded to pile on the bogeys and shot a 790 rated round. I've been chasing that feeling ever since. I love this game.
That's it. It's a game of highs and lows.
So
That's disc golf, baby.
this would be my advice, because this is actually something that I did a lot in golf, and I think it helps really well. You have to get that feeling of being that under par. And how do you if you're just playing normal courses and you're playing the normal tee pads and you're doing all that, it's going to be very hard for you to get back into that spot, right? Because you have to play incredible to get there. So what you do is, if you have an easier course, or start every hole 50 feet farther up if there isn't a tee pad, make the course super easy. So that way you get into that spot of where in golf, I would play the red tees every once in a while. So I was playing par 4s that are 280 yards, right? I was playing par 5s that were 440 yards. And you get to the point of where you're like, all right, I'm 6 under par on the front 9. Holy crap. And put yourself in, because that's what it sounds like happened to this guy, right? It's like he was playing out of his mind, and then he kind of psyched himself out of where
Just lost it.
he was just like, I'm playing too good. I'm going to fall back to earth. So you got to put yourself in that position more.
Makes
That
sense.
is the feeling we're all chasing.
Yeah.
All chasing it.
That and pulling a CJ Stroud.
That's true.
There you have it, ladies and gents. Hopefully you enjoyed this week's episode. Only a few weeks left of the off season, and then we'll switch back
Oh,
over
I'm
to
gonna
good
miss
old
it.
fashioned debate night. So be sure
I
if you
won't miss
haven't
that.
yet. Be sure if you haven't yet to submit your topics through the link down below. Get your topics heard on air while there's still a chance. If not, you'll have to wait till the next off season. But until then, we'll see you same time, same place next week.